The Bloc Québécois saw a major surge in support last night, tripling the seats it held after the 2015 leadership race. Joining us with more from Montreal is McGill University's Daniel Weinstock. Daniel, thanks so much for joining us. Let's start first with the People's Party. Leader Maxime Bernier lost the one and only seat they held in Beauce. What was it about his campaign? Why did it fall so flat?
I don't think there was really any demand for the kind of product that M. Bernier was offering in Quebec. Really, it all came down to whether he would be able to maintain his personal and family stronghold in that region rather than the brand really getting any traction. So I think it was, dead on arrival. And even the brand, the Bernier family brand, ended up not being able to survive the fact that at the end of the day, he didn't really have anything that Quebecers were interested in hearing about.
Okay, let's move on to the Bloc Québécois. We knew a surge was coming, and they settled in at a hefty about 32 seats. What does this shift we saw for the Bloc Québécois mean for the feeling of voters in the province? I mean, do they feel empowered going into this minority government?
Well, it's going to be interesting to consider that question in about 6 months to a year when the Parliament actually gets going. I mean, it's a bit of a mixed blessing for the Bloc. 32 seats is a great result compared to the 10 that they had, but it's not enough for them to really pull any significant levers. Mr. Trudeau did well enough both in the province and nationally that he can, he could decide pretty much to ignore them. And the challenge for a Bloc leader in Parliament is always not to do what Monsieur Blanchet said that he wouldn't do, which is to show that Canadian parliamentary system can work. He's not there to make Canadian federalism work, but of course, to some degree, the fact that he's there and that he will be of necessity collaborating with other parties kind of proves that it does. So it's a bit of a mixed blessing for. I'm not sure that when the dust settles, they will view themselves as having achieved an unmitigated victory.
Well, it is going to be an interesting dance that the Liberals have to do with the Bloc, because conceivably they could dance with the NDP and shut the Bloc out, but then you've got to ask yourself, what ramifications could that have for the Liberals in Quebec in the next election? I mean, they've got to play three-dimensional chess here to a certain extent.
Maybe even four-dimensional chess, because everything that they do in order to try to grow their party outside of Montreal. I mean, what Geneviève was saying is very true. You look at the map, and it's kind of like what the provincial map is like. You have Liberals on the island and the sort of federal representatives of the CAQ outside the island. So whatever he does to try to grow the Liberal brand outside of the island of Montreal is going to be something that's going to feed the other problem that he has, which is Western alienation. So it's going to take some very, very capable maneuvering on the part of Mr. Trudeau in this next Parliament, both for Quebec and for the rest of the country. And, the jury's out about whether he has the kind of political chops that will be needed to keep things balanced.
Daniel, we appreciate your time today. Thank you so much.
Pleasure.
Thanks for watching. If you like this, be sure to subscribe here.
And you can check out more Your Morning videos right here.